Well, folks, it seems the man who once called himself Tariff Man wasn't kidding. Trump just dropped a global bombshell. New sweeping tariffs that may permanently change how the world does business with the United States. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tariffs? Sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry on C-SPAN. But trust me, this is big. In this video, we'll break down 5 key takeaways that reveal just how deep the impact could be, from China to Canada and even Myanmar. Buckle up, because things are about to get, well, let's just say interesting. Trump called this Liberation Day for American industry, saying tariffs would bring prices down and jobs back home. He painted a picture so rosy, you'd think American factories were about to sprout rainbows and shoot fireworks made of solid gold. But here's the thing about rosy pictures. They tend to fade pretty quickly in the harsh light of reality. And the reality is, American businesses are bracing for the opposite. Many are calling this a hidden tax, warning that the costs will be passed down to the consumer faster than a hot potato in a game of budget negotiations. The US Chamber of Commerce, not exactly known for its radical leftist leanings, stated clearly, these broad tariffs are a tax increase that will raise prices and hurt the economy. So, liberation or inflation? It seems like asking a magician to pull a rabbit out of a hat, only to find out the rabbit is actually your wallet, and it's considerably lighter than before. China, the Middle Kingdom, the land of pandas, pagodas, and the primary target of this economic earthquake. Tariffs on Chinese goods now top 50%, which, let's be honest, is starting to feel less like a trade negotiation and more like an awkward game of tariff chicken. But it's not just China feeling the hit. Countries like Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Indonesia, all with major Chinese investment, are being squeezed like stress balls in the hands of a particularly anxious panda. Experts believe the goal is to indirectly weaken China by hurting its overseas supply chain. It's like trying to win a staring contest with a dragon by poking its tail with a very expensive stick. You might get a reaction, but it probably won't be the one you were hoping for. And let's not forget, this could also collapse export-dependent economies already hit hard by war disasters and US aid cuts. It's like kicking someone when they're down, then sending them the hospital bill. Now, you might think Canada and Mexico are breathing a sigh of relief, having been technically spared from this round of tariffs, but they're not exactly breaking out the champagne and confetti north and south of the border. It's more like a nervous sip of lukewarm tap water while they anxiously eye the door. You see, 25% tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, and cars still went into effect just hours later. It's like giving someone a get-out-of-jail-free card, then immediately tripping them on their way out the door. Canada's PM, bless his eternally polite soul, warned these actions fundamentally change the international trading system. Mexico, meanwhile, says it won't retaliate, but is planning a comprehensive trade response. It's like saying we're not mad, just disappointed, while simultaneously sharpening their butter knives. The North American supply chain may never be the same. Even Trump admits this is a huge gamble. He says there will be a transition period, because what we're doing is very big. And by very big, he means the economic equivalent of jumping out of a plane without a parachute and hoping you land in a giant pile of money. Markets are already reacting with the subtlety of a herd of startled gazelles. Stock volatility is rising faster than the price of a gallon of gas after a particularly nasty OPEC meeting. Importers are panicking like they just realized they left the oven on in a house made entirely of kindling, and world leaders, especially in Europe and Asia, are warning of a looming global trade war. It's like watching a game of economic Jenga where the tower is made of highly flammable cash and everyone involved seems determined to pull out the bottom block. One thing's certain, this isn't just politics, it's economics on fire. Let's be clear. America's allies aren't happy. They're about as thrilled as a vegetarian at a barbecue festival. The EU and China are preparing countermeasures with the grim determination of chess grandmasters facing off in a match where the loser gets their economy turned into a parking lot. South Korea has promised an all-out response, which sounds less like a trade negotiation and more like the title of a Michael Bay film. Even the UK, Traditionally a close US partner, the kind that shares an intelligence network and finishes each other's sentences, mostly with witty Shakespeare quotes, is warning of severe economic damage. It's like finding out your best friend ate the last cookie and then blamed it on the dog, except the cookie is your entire GDP, and the dog is a metaphor for complex global trade dynamics. The tariffs are not just shifting trade policy, they're reshaping alliances faster than a chameleon on a rainbow. What we're seeing may mark the beginning of a new world economic order. Let's just hope it's not one where the only currency left is bartering with canned goods and whatever scraps of international goodwill we have left. Well, there you have it. Trump's tariff play has officially begun, and the world is reacting with all the grace and predictability of a bull in a china shop. A china shop that may or may not be subject to a 25% import tax. Will this bring back American industry, or light the fuse for an economic firestorm that will make the Great Recession look like a picnic in the park? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Is this bold leadership or global disruption?